guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's Jacoby. We are going to do part 2 to the volleyball dictionary. If you haven't seen part 1, it will be linked in the bio. But make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below. And let's get into part 2 of the ultimate volleyball dictionary. Okay, so in part 1, we did letters A through B. So now we're going to start with C. And I have my notes on my phone, so I'm just going to read it off. Alright, so first word is center line. So the center line is the dividing line that's right underneath the net. So there's many ways that the center line could, or the word center line could be used, like center line infraction, or they're over the center line. So basically that just means that you cannot cross the center line, because that's kind of like the division between each opposing side. So if you, like, I don't know, you go up and hit a ball but you land under the net, that's an infraction. Like, that's against the rules, and you'll be called accordingly. Also, on the other hand, beside it being illegal, like, it's really dangerous, because I have almost broken my ankle, like, landing on someone who landed under the net. Like, just have, like, give yourself space to land on your side rather than under the net. Next word is closing the block. So this is the responsibility of the blockers that are assisting the main blocker to angle their body relative to the first blocker. So what that means is, like, say I'm the middle and it's my responsibility to close the block. So say that you set the ball to the outside. I'm going to go out to my right side pin. They're going to be setting the block, and it's my job to close the block and to form a full block over the net. So if I don't close the block, that means that the block will look like this instead of this. And if it looks like this, that means the hitter can just, like, right in between us. But if we're closed, they either have to hit around us, which makes it easier for our defenders who are behind us because they know where to go, or they'll get blocked. Next word is commit blocking. So when you commit block, that means that say the other team has a really good hitter. She's an outside hitter. So that means that within our blocking scheme, we're going to commit on that hitter. So we're going to commit block to the outside, because that's probably where they're going to set the majority of the balls, because that's their best hitter, aka they kind of run the offense through her. So it's kind of committing to one person or a hitter on the other side. Next word is court. I'll just share the dimensions with you. So a volleyball court is 30 by 60 feet, and it's divided by a center line with 2 equal halves of 30 by 30 feet. Next word is cover, or coverage. Covering is basically like when your attacker is hitting the ball. Say they get blocked. Say they get blocked and the ball comes back on your side. The dig that you make is called covering. So how you cover someone, like, really is just like you kind of get under them and you kind of anticipate them getting blocked. Like, hopefully they don't, like, fingers crossed, but sometimes they will catch the block and the ball will come back, and you can easily lift up and cover the ball. Am I in focus? I don't think so. Sorry guys, I'm, like, in my car trying to figure it out. Okay. Next word is a cross court shot. So this just means hitting cross court. So if I'm facing this way, I'm gonna hit this way instead of line. This is hitting line, this is hitting cross. Or, I mean, if you're really advanced, like, you don't even, like, you can hit where your body's not facing, but just for basic purposes, hitting cross court is just, like, literally hitting across the court, like, diagonals. Last C word is a cut shot. Cut shots are just, like, it's hard to explain. So we went over the serving zones. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So hitting a cut shot, typically it's like an off-speed shot, and you cut across the ball to where it hits like an odd angle. That's like the best way I can describe a cut shot. Okay, now moving on to D. First word we have is deep. So this is just when you hit a ball towards the end line and it still ends zones 1, 5, and 6. That's a deep ball. You can hit a deep shot, like hitting those score like a lot. Like if you're an outside hitter or a middle hitter or a right side hitter, hitting deep corners typically always score. It's a very good spot and a really good shot to have in your arsenal. Next word is a defensive specialist, and this also ties into the word defense. So defense is just when you are trying to defend the attack from the other team. So a defensive specialist is someone who is just how it sounds, someone who specializes in defense. So it's pretty similar to a libero, except they don't have as many rule restrictions. So they can attack back row, they can jump above the plane of the net, they can set with their hands in front of the 10-foot line. People who utilize DSs, they usually have them for serving purposes or defense purposes or servicey purposes or back row attack, whatever they want to use them as, just something that's defensive. Next word is a dig. That's just just if you are playing defense and you dig a ball up. So that's different than like a free ball pass, in my opinion. Like some people could say like, oh, like it's digging when you get a free ball. Nah. Like I think a dig is really like when you're playing defense and you dig up a hit. Or like a tip, that's a dig, like great, but like I'm pretty sure it's statted the same way, so that's just my opinion. Next word is a dive, and that's just when you dive after a ball. Like you've probably seen someone do like a dolphin dive or a seal dive when they actually go like their body literally goes like on the floor. Yeah, that's just the basic definition of diving, just throwing your body on the floor basically, but kind of gliding across the floor instead of like plopping on the floor. That hurts. Next word is a double block. So we went over what a closed block was. So that is the definition of a double block. It's like when you got two blockers together, that's a double block. Two double block right there. And sometimes when like you're a defensive specialist or you can see the block for your hitter. So say I'm right behind someone who's hitting it up in the air and I see two blockers, you'll yell like two or double and they'll know not to swing right in front of them so they don't get blocked. Next word is a double or a double hit violation. So this is just when it's like it's like when you're setting and you hit the ball twice. So it's like you want a clean set, but instead you go like 1, 2. Like that's a double. The only time you can double is on the first contact. But then after that you can't double. Like it's not cool. Next word is a down ball. So down balling is basically just like standing on the ground and you give an overhand attack to the other side. But you're standing. When you jump, that's when it's elevated to a back row attack. Next phrase is down the line. So when you're hitting a ball, people will say hit down the line. So you can snap your wrist over to the line. And this is if you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, I'm so sorry because I don't know how to really do that. But if you're on the outside and you want to hit line, but your chest is faced like towards the 5 or it's diagonal, you can snap over with your wrist down the line. That's how you would use it in a sentence. Okay, next word is drifting, which is my personal pet peeve. So, because I do it a lot, and some people do it, it's not fun. So drifting is when you are trying to close the block and you drift into the other person and land on them. Or you're setting the block and you're like a pin hitter and you're setting the block and you drift past the person that you're supposed to be blocking, and then that makes the person closing the block, that makes their lives 10 million times harder. So yeah, don't drift, ladies and gentlemen. It'll keep you safe. Just jump straight up. If you're out of position, don't reach. That's just the golden rule. Last word is dump. So that's like a setter dump basically. So that's when a setter goes over on 2. That is called a setter dump. Okay guys, that was it for part 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you in my next video. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment down below. I love you guys so much. Subscribe to my vlog channel if you want to, if you like my vlogs, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.